So, what is going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at the Transformers Combiner Wars Optimus Maximus unit. So this is pretty much just a repaint of Menasor. I'm not going to lie to you. Why did I decide to do this one? I don't know. Maybe just to show it, because it's a weird one. So throughout all of Combiner Wars, they did two Combiners that were just kind of random Autobots. So this was the first of the two, and this technically isn't the right Optimus. This is the Wave 1 Optimus Prime that came out with the Superion Wave, and technically this crew is supposed to have a white version. I like the regular red version, because I think it's more of just random Autobot. As far as it goes, character-wise, we have Mirage, Prowl, Sunstreaker, Ironhide, obviously Prime, and then we have Hot Rod. I think it's actually Rodimus, but we'll get to him. I wasn't even going to initially include him, because I don't actually use him in the combine mode. I just wanted to throw him in, because he's technically a part of this crew. But, yeah, as far as they go, they're a pretty alright unit. So let's just get into the review, and we're going to take a look at Prowl first. So, Prowl. Prowl is a dead-end repaint. But he's the Streetwise mold of Dead End, so he's the cop car. And as far as the cop car mold goes, I do kind of like it a little bit. Like, I like them both. I do like the Dead End mold. I'm not gonna lie to you, I do like it. Although, the shotgun that the cop mold comes with is much better. It's a triple-barreled shotgun. Yikes. With a scope on it for some reason. Why do I have a sniper scope on it? As far as it goes, nice little accessory. He also has his combiner foot bit, which is, you know, it's a combiner foot. Yeah. We don't need it. We've seen it. We've seen these guys. I don't even know if I really want to retread the articulation. I usually do once every video. But ball joint in the head, forward, back, elbow, swivel, waist, forward, back, out, knee joint, and that's your lot. And I'll point out any ankle tilt, if there's any. I don't remember if there is. I don't think there is. Like I mentioned, this is basically just a retread of Menasor, but with different characters. And as far as Prowl goes, the biggest difference he has is, of course, being a different mold than Dead End, but also, well, not a different mold, but a remold of Dead End, and a new head sculpt, which actually is really good looking. That's really good. He's probably the best out of these guys. I'm not going to lie to you. He's definitely towards the top. He's definitely towards the top. And probably like, why'd you start him first? Because I'm just doing it at random. I mean, yeah, he looks nice. Nice Autobot badge. He does have the typical kibble, though, which is that. Womp womp. Oh, well. But that is Prowl, so let's get into the next one, which is going to be Ironhide. So, Ironhide is kind of, he's the worst one. Off-road is decent, but I don't like this for Ironhide. They used the wrong version of this mold. They should have used the First Aid mold. They should have used the First Aid version, but they didn't. They used the off-road, which I get, because the truck from the movies, I get it. But it doesn't look like Ironhide at all. Like, it just looks like a red dude. Even the head sculpt sucks. Look at that head. That doesn't look like Ironhide. That could be anyone. Like, it has the fin, sure, but, like, the head's not rounded enough. He's angry looking. Very angry looking. And as far as it goes, the only thing to tell you it's Ironhide is that he's red and has yellow stripe. That's it. He also has an axe, because that's what Off-Road's weapon is, which is right here. Unpainted. Off-Road's is painted, and so is First Aid's, so they just didn't paint this one. And as far as the hand-foot gun goes, there it is. There's the front of it. You don't need it anymore. You know, and as far as back kibble goes, he has the giant hump on the back, because that's just what that mold has, is a backpack. And he has these stupid shoulders that restrict the articulation a little bit, because they hit the wheels, and it's a giant mess. This mold is easily the worst of the bunch. He is easily the worst one. So yeah, let's just get into the next one, which is going to be Mirage. So Mirage, then. Mirage is decent. And the only reason he is even here is because Dragstrip existed, so they said, you know what, we can just reframe him into Mirage, and I actually seen that coming as a kid. I mean, as far as it goes, I actually really like the color blue they use on Mirage. It's actually a really nice blue. It's not dark, but it's not, like, too light. It's, like, perfect. It's a really good blue. It looks really nice. Sorry for seeing the sun glare there. But, I mean, as far as it goes, this guy looks decent. And his accessory, of course, is this. I mean, it looks pretty all right. I mean, he has his weapon. Woohoo. Don't need it again. See you later, bud. It's nice. It's cool. But what do I actually think? He's easily the third worst one. He just doesn't look enough like Mirage to me. Especially at the chest. If he was backwards, but you can't turn him backwards is the issue. You can't do that. It don't work. So sadly, he's just alright. So let's get on to the next and final deluxe, which is Sunstreaker. Sunstreaker, then, is one I really like. I also hear a lot of bad things, because he's a weird yellow and da-da-da-da-da. That's fine with me. I don't care. I actually really do like him. I like the little bits of red he has on the legs and on the shoulders. He has his thing, but his is a lot less annoying, because you can just put it in the backpack and forget about it. It's very nice. He also has my favorite weapon out of the whole crew. Same thing as Breakdown, which is this sword gun, but it actually looks like a gun and a sword. It actually works as both. So, good job, Hasbro, for going about 1 for 4 on deluxe weapons in the Stunticons. Because at least we didn't get Dead End's pipe weapon, which is easily the worst one. And again, looks decent. Has a lot about badge right there. And I wish it would have been like up here, or like on the arm. It could have been in many other places, but I mean, it's decent enough. He looks good. He looks fine. He's probably my second favorite. I think Prowl's definitely the best deluxe. Easily. He's easily the best deluxe out of the whole set. Easily. That's Sunstreaker. So now we're going to get into the mini guy. Hot Rod Rodimus. I think it is Rodimus, but we'll get into him right now. Rodimus, then. Rodimus is a interesting one. He is just a repaint of Blackjack, but he also looks nothing like Rodimus until you get to the car mode. And as a kid, I said it's gonna be repainted, and I was right. I was so right when I seen this. I was like, yeah, I got it. That I bought him. And, I mean, I don't really need him as far as the kibble goes, same as Blackjack, just like a whole half the car on the back, but it's still one of the better figures out of the entire lot. Like, this figure is like one of those Legends guys that's just really good. Like, he's a really solid Legends guy that I really like a lot. As far as his articulation, ball joint, it's actually not ball joint, it's swivel. Actually, no, it is a ball joint. Outward, forward, back. Swivel there, no hip. Go out, in. Yeah, typical, you know, nothing special. Looks good. He's nice. Has a nice weapon. It's just the spoiler. It is just the spoiler. I still wish there was a way to hold it like that. But there's not. Or like that. Or like peg it into the forearm. But it's just a little bit too big. Actually, up here's not. Can you imagine for all those years there's like a little peg there and I just didn't know? That'd be crazy. Anyway, that's Hot Rod, Rodimus. Let's get into the big boss himself. And here is the final main figure, which is Optimus Prime. And he is pretty alright, you know. He's decent. It's just Motor Master, but it's the pre-tool. Also, mine has a broken leg, which isn't a bad thing, mind you. He just can't keep his leg out. It's broken. I broke it, but it's not a bad break, which I get to in the combined mode, because in the case of Motor Master, they actually kind of fixed the ratchets in the legs, but in this guy, they're awful. As far as the Prime goes, I mean, he does pull the look off. Like, he does have the windows, and the head's really tiny. Like, it just is. I mean, he has all the Prime details. This probably shouldn't be anyone's main Prime ever, but, you know. He's decent. He has 2 accessories, one of which is this gun, which I don't know what it is, but hey, it's there. Fulfill the combination obligation of combiner gun. Decent. And the other one actually is his real gun, which is good. So at least we have this. It is his real gun. Actually a really nice take on it. I actually do like the different take, but it is clearly just because of the stock. That's it. It's very clear. Backpack-wise, same thing as Motormaster. Just a giant crotch plate and a bit of a backpack. I mean, looks decent. It has stickers. This one's kind of falling off, but that's fine. Now, as far as transformation goes, I'm not going to do it. The first time ever. And it's mainly because if you've seen these videos, you've most likely seen them be transformed a bajillion times. They exist all over the internet to transform. I'm just doing a little review of these guys. As far as it goes, I also already reviewed every single one of these molds. And it's also just kind of to cut the time down, so this isn't like a 30-minute review. So I'm going to do an edit, and we'll be right back with their alt forms. And we're back with the alt forms. Ta-da! Magic. But these alt forms are pretty much the same thing as the ones we looked at. We're obviously going to take a look at them, but, you know, they're 2 exceptions of being different. So let's get into this. Let's take a look at Prowl again first, and Prowl is a cop car, not the dead end mold. And he looks pretty alright, but still has the same issue, which is this random different color part. I don't know why they can't use paint, but you know what, why not? At that point. And I mean, it does look nice enough, and it does have the little lights on the top, and I mean, the rear's not painted, but hey, at least they painted the front lights. Headlights are painted, at least, and they randomly painted these vents, it looks like. Did they actually? No, they're not. I thought they were black, but they're not. They're actually just white with probably just the void below them is making it look black. So it looks nice. At least they painted this little rear window here, though. I'll give them that. I'll give them points for painting it. Nice metallic blue. Looks nice. They didn't paint his wheels, though, which is weird, because I'm pretty sure he's the only one without painted wheels. Other than Prime. So that's Prowl, so let's get into Ironhide. And Ironhide is better in his truck form than in his robot mode. It's nice. I like that it's kind of a collaboration of his G1 and his Movieverse design, with it being a pickup truck, but with the color scheme of G1. And there's that yellow stripe that in my Studio Series review I said he's missing, and he technically is. I don't know why they didn't include it on the Studio one, but hey, that's fine. Nice bumper. I do like that. It looks nice. They even got the back done. It's pretty good, you know? They actually did a pretty solid job on the truck, and they all have the same, like, metallic blue paint for the windshield, which is good. Next is a Mirage, who's just a blue drag strip with some different stuff. So we got 62 circuit racing. That's it. There's no other detailing on him, really. Nothing. Wow. Metallic silver spoiler. Wheels are painted nicely. He probably has the worst alt mode, just for it just being drag strip. Like, it's Mirage because it's a blue race car, but, like, there's not a lot of white. I wish there was a bit more white. Like, maybe the shoulders should have been white. Like, there's just not enough white going on in the figure. He's too blue, you know? Like, maybe this part here could have been... I don't know. There's parts they could have made white that could have made him look more like Mirage, because I get that there's a bit of white, but there's just not a lot, because Mirage is primarily white and blue, not blue and white. He's white and blue. It's kind of one of those things. There's, like, the color scheme's a bit backwards, but in the robot mode, it doesn't look backwards, because his whole chest piece is white. So, that's Mirage, so let's get into Sunstreaker, who is pretty much just a breakdown mold, but with a bit of red here. Painted wheels, of course, like I said. Nice metallic. We got them headlights. I mean, he looks decent enough in this mode. It looks good. I'm going to show the rolling of him, but he can't roll. He can. He can. And he can. It's awesome. None of them can really roll. Woohoo. But, I mean, Autobot logo right there. He still has one of the better alt forms that I do like. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's definitely up there. And Sunstreaker. And then we have Rodimus, which of course does look like Rodimus because flame paint plus spoiler equals Rodimus. So it does kind of resemble him. And as a kid, like I said, I called it. I literally called it. I was like, as soon as I seen Blackjack, that's why I was like, this is going to be a Rodimus someday. And it was. I mean, it looks good. It has the little gun on top still. It's fine. It's fine. And there's Prime, who's technically different from Motormaster. He does look a lot different. Motormaster also has the little scoops on the top, which Prime doesn't have. And, I mean, he does look different. This is different back here. If I'm not mistaken, these are different. Like, there's a lot of different stuff going on. It does look like a different truck in a lot of ways if I had them here. Next to me, I'd be able to pinpoint it, but I don't have Motormaster out. He's in storage now. So, yeah, I changed my shelving again, which is, I keep doing. I put the Decepticons above the Autobots this time. And I got a Starscream on the way, and G-Axis. Yeah, I got a lot of things coming again. But, I mean, this Prime is pretty great. He's alright, you know. He's not the greatest. I just said he's pretty great, but he's not, like, he's not bad, to say the least. Like, he's a mid-Prime to have. Not the worst thing ever. So that's their alt forms. So let's do the combination. Alright, and we're back with Menasor 2. The Autobot version. And I don't have Hot Rod on, but we're going to show it. Because we're not even going to use him, really. So, he just pegs on like that. It looks worse. Gone. Probably one of the better figures out of the whole set, but hey. Also, yes, I know it's a bit tall, but it's because I don't have my Magnus box, which is what I used to use for these combiners. But, yeah, I kind of threw it all the way into the back, and now it's gone. One thing I forgot to show, though, gun combination, which is just peg the two together. And I do like that they have that little interconnected bit, and then you can just give it to whomever, and there you go. I mean, as far as the combiner goes, just to lift them up here to show off the legs a bit. There they are. Looks pretty alright. I mean, Mirage and Ironhide, they work probably the best because they're actually the colors of Prime. But, I mean, the set itself doesn't look bad. It actually looks pretty cool. I actually do like it a decent amount. And I kind of like it a bit more than Menasor, but it's only a slight like, because I like the colors and the fact that these are all characters who don't combining to make a random combiner. I think it's kind of cool. And I also kind of like the Energon Prime reference. With the whole, like, chest thing. I like that a lot. I like that whole look, because it reminds me of Energon Prime, like I said. As far as the head goes, head looks pretty cool with the giant horns. I do like that. Like cleavers up there. It's pretty alright, and as far as his articulation goes, same as any other combiner. Ball joint in the head. Outward. There we go. Swivel. Double elbow. Swivel at the hand as well. This one does have a waist. Menasor's the only one that does, if I'm not mistaken. Forward and back, but it looks ridiculous. A knee joint. Along with the swivel, but it's going to absolutely destroy him if I do it, so I'm not gonna. And I mean, he looks pretty good. I mean, decent enough combiner, and I kind of like him more than Menasor, but only because of the concept of him. Does that mean he's better than Menasor? Absolutely not. One thing I give to Menasor, though, or this guy over Menasor, is the price point, because randomly, when these guys came out, they were on sale. I am not joking when I tell you that when these guys came out at first, they were on sale instantaneously for the original price before Combiner Wars came out. I scooped them all up, and then I had this. So yeah, I didn't even have to. I feel like there's a lot of people who don't have this guy, and it's mainly because no one really wants him. He's like the only repaint combiner. He's a full repaint of one. Slight remold, but he is a full-on repaint combiner. And of one I already reviewed. So of the fact of the matter is, I just reviewed a combiner that I already reviewed. So what are my thoughts on this guy? He's decent. He's alright. I mean, I'm going to give him like a 3 out of 5 on the combiner. As far as the figures go, Prowl gets a 4 because he's actually really good. Sunstreaker gets like a 3.5. Ironhide gets like a 2.5. Mirage gets like a 2.5. And Prime himself gets a 3. Nothing special. And Hot Rod, he gets like a 4 because I still like this mold a lot. And I actually really like the red they chose. So good on them. So that has been my review of the Optimus Maximus team, or the Autobots. This has been Eilt, Eilt Elite, signing out.